So I've been told to. Somebody wants me to do a showcase on my base so they can check it out, I suppose. I'm just gonna look over here and I will be back once it's loaded. Alright. So what should we do? So this is the main floor here, where you get your actual resources from. So there's two ways you could do this. You could either have this section around here filled with 6 garden beds, and then a harvester, and then just connect it manually to these. But I mean, it takes way too long, to be honest, to fill up. So it's better off to do it. What I did is that I removed the garden beds. I've only put the storage racks here, and I've got my own actual fuel station. So what we got here is you got a T-joint, which is about, if you do one, possibly like 3 iron walls, if I'm correct. Where is it here? So you got one there, 2, pretty much about 3-ish. 3 or something, you know. So yeah, then I've got T-joints, and just a short, and then a very short into a storage rack. I mean, you could possibly, don't know if it would fit, but you could possibly try and fit a mega storage, to be honest, in here. If you remove these two, the short and the very short, and the MK, you should be able to fit like a mega, which I actually might start doing later. I might change it up and just do a mega storage there. So we got the cranes, they're usually set to about 2 seconds, you know, just to reduce the lag, you know. So we got a short here, corner, ramp, another short, another ramp, then a corner into a T-joint. Then you got your drill heads, which is the stuff that's in the red. So everything that's in red is where the drill heads go. So they get sorted and then they just get filtered into a 1MK1. Then you've got a conveyor on both sides. This on the left side you've got about 2 and a short. Then you start getting into the drill parts. There is about there's about 12 on each side. So if I'm correct, 12 plus 12, there's about 24 drills. So you need about 24 drills for this part. Both are technically the same, pretty much. Besides, I just did a T-joint on this because they used to have a thing that used to go down here and then boom. But you can change this to a corner if you want. That's what I did here. So yeah, and then if you've done it right, what I've done is that you can tell that there's a difference because I have actually put this stuff as close as I can behind the other drill, like, you know, on the side of it. So I've got some space. Because as you can tell, I've only got like just enough space to actually fit one player, like my entire self, just in here and be able to move left and right. So if this thing is touching the other conveyor, then you've done it correctly. 2 conveyors here, about along, then another 2 conveyors, you know, corners. 2 conveyors on both, very short on that one, short, and then conveyor for the in closer one. Corner, 2 conveyors, and then another short. Then we're doing about 6 smelters, so there's about 12 smelters altogether on the bottom floor, and then there's about 8 blacksmiths on both sides. So you got 4 on this side and 4 on the other side, that's 8 basically. And then once you've done it all, then you start filtering all your stuff. So I've done drill heads to go back into the MK. Then I've done all the raw ore that actually does not need to be. I did also do iron beams because I figured out, well, iron beams are fine until here. And then once you start turning, it'll try and like hop off type thing. So I don't like that. So I sorted out that. All the raw ore material it's better off just to like put it in the trash besides having a loop. Fire. By the way, this thing here is fire logs, so they just get yeah, it's sick. They just go back into the same place. So that's the first or main lobby floor, whatever you want to call it. So on our second floor, right, where everything gets produced and put up stuff. So my Canon semi-Canon system. I've got all the timers if you want them. 120. This would be off 120 as well, and then 35. The reason I did 120 on the wood frame and cannon barrel is because you only need one. Besides on the wheel, you need about 4 to make at least one cannon. So if you can see, this thing only needs about one more wheel, and then it'll be making it. And it takes about 150 seconds. So you know, sorry for yawning. I've got a pillar stack for I've added the system benches and tables. That stuff is now being created to make the pianos, which is like I've got 58 of them. I could possibly make my lag machine again, maybe. I don't want to know the server too much. This used to be my piano stuff for I like, as you can tell with this other conveyor. This was all for my like another plot I was gonna make, but because I didn't have the resources to actually make benches and tables and all that sort of stuff. That's the reason. Um, yeah. So you got corners, linears, T joints, all this goes into an mega storage. So what it'll have filtered it is gears, pillars, wood frames, and coils. That's to make the wheels, of course, for the cannon. If you're interested, you could change it up and do pianos or whatever you want. I don't really care. It's not my real. This factory is mine, but you can copy and change it up if you want. I don't really care. Um, Benches and tables because I needed it made. Nails going to nails just in case because I've got a wood frame system and I need nails as well as much as I can. T joints, wheels and stuff. Just make sure it connects. Yeah. Stone, stone brick or brick, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do with it. That's just where I put my rest of my stone. Steam engines, benches and tables, wood frame and coil, all go into piano. So I've had a piano system and I can easily add a steam engine as well if I really wanted to. So what I did is item box. So anything that is boxed will actually go into here and get sorted or filtered, whatever you want to call it. It won't work on wheels because I haven't done that yet. So yeah, pretty much. This used to be. Oh no, this still is. I've made this as my fuel system for this part for the cannons to actually be made because when you had the wood down the bottom, right, you wouldn't have you couldn't actually fill up the thing, you know. So I decided, might as well add this manual fuel system. So what this does, it makes the casting mold. So you can change this conveyor belt to another MK and just have it to do iron frames. But the problem is, if you're doing iron frames for the piano and casting mold, you might want to put that sort of to stop so you can let some of the frames go through. Fire logs to actually get this stuff sorted, which I'll actually try and fill up. It's about 1 second, which is just pretty much fine. It's not too much of a hassle, and I don't really want it to overflow too much. We got about 2 conveyors, short and a normal, very short corner. This goes into the casting mods and bronze ingot. I didn't say ingot because it doesn't have an eye, it's got got. So that goes into there, makes the cannon, actual barrel to make itself, wood frames, that's spare one. So yeah, what I've done is for this, is that you place the storage crane on both sides, and then MK, and then just sort them out. The system here is by twos. Since you are having a pillar on one side and wood frame on the same to make the actual thing. We'll go to our third, or second or third floor, whatever you want to call it. I call it third. So this is where you get your wood stuff from. So you got your pillars on one belt, and then you got your the planks on one belt and the pillars on one belt. You know, these are all advanced, so there's about 8. So you know, gotta filter them. Of course, these ones do the 2 log scene, so they take about 10 seconds, which is like 5 logs per log. And then this one's about 3 seconds, which is like 1 log. So what you do is pretty much just switch the machine on, just let it all flow. Only problem is, if someone else's ace is lagging with like 200 something items, it's better off to actually turn this stuff off, because it's unless you want to actually like cleaning your base up a lot, then I mean you can try and clean up your base with the amount of logs you're gonna have, but it's gonna just clog up your factory. Nails and planks, you know, wood frames, you saw down there, had that thing. If you're wondering how much it makes from just an entire stack with this much nails, you get about almost $1,000 of wood frames, about 980, which isn't too bad, you know. Right, so let's go to my third or fourth floor, whatever you want to call it. As I said, this is the fuel station. So this is where I get my pillars from to actually be able to make the what's it called, the benches and tables from. So these make the bench and tables. They're 9, by 9. So 3 by 3. So 3 across, 3 down each. So these do pillars, you know, benches and tables for me. This is the fuel system, as I said, for the cannon barrel. I just decided to do it like this because, you know, more room and stuff. Only problem is it sometimes gets stuck in the tube or the chute, whatever you want to call it. But like, there's not really a lot else you can really do about that. I mean, you could try and do it log walls, but I mean, that's up to you. I did glass, or I did it to iron and a force field. Okay, so let's go to my last floor. You got your cottons to be actually able to make the beds in the game. Then you've got this fuel station, which is for the fire logs, which I showed you at the bottom, which is where I get all my fuel from. This factory possibly makes you, I mean, if you start making cannons by manual, you should be able to, I would say about like maybe 200 grand, possibly, if it's all like stacked up type stuff, or you could possibly make about something, possibly 100 grand, possibly. I don't know. Housing you'll need is for about 4.4 if you want to make everything about this. I'll probably add some more iron walls though, like around my base, you know, just to like not showcase what's around it. But I mean, hey, I could add a cannon. Not cannon. I could add more cotton. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Peace.